Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another week of Murph and Dirk Duke It Out.
Down, 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 down.
I was wondering when you were going to say something.
Late and
man.
gay. Late and
Definitely.
gay.
Your comment was definitely late and gay, yes.
It's not gay, it's yeah. Yeah.
We want to welcome to the show
Yeah.
a guest that we've had on a couple times, and we always have a good time when he comes on. So we want to welcome Dojo Kun Comics.
Hey guys, how are you?
Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
He's supposed to enter with the unsolved. He's supposed to enter with the Unsolved Mysteries. Kick him and enter him again, and then go do. Come on, that would have been awesome.
No, we're not there yet.
Dojo is an unsolved mystery in himself.
That's true.
That I cannot dispute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's say hello to the chat. Who do we got? Wow, Raiden Radio is in here early tonight. Hello. Said,
no, that song is scary.
It is. One time my wife put on Unsolved Mysteries while I was sleeping. The theme song yanked me out of my dream, and I woke up terrified.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, when you're in that twilight sleep and you don't know what's going on and that's playing, I can see how that would be like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
Have I been buried alive?
That song, it's very creepy. It is a creepy song. Mo Biggs. We got Mo Biggs in the house.
Yeah, Mo said I was big timing him.
I saw that. We got Felix Haas. Welcome. Thank you.
Hail, Felix.
It looks like that's all we got for right now, but people usually always trickle in as we go, so it's all good.
They're used to us being late and gay.
As soon as they find out the theme of tonight's show, they're all going to be like, oh, why wasn't there right from the start?
I know.
Dude, we're already halfway over with Halloween month. Right. We've done nothing Halloween-y for our show.
We're going to be very Halloween-y tonight.
I don't do Halloween-y at all.
You're Halloween-y.
So that's just me.
Well, Murph is with us, so Halloween-y is covered.
Halloween. I wasn't here last week because I got lost in a cornfield, and it was an unsolved mystery for a couple days.
Yeah, it was. It was an unsolved mystery. I had no clue, no phone calls, nothing.
I just ate my way out of the cornfield.
Watch out for the children.
Oh, man.
You know, I've never watched that movie. I've never watched Children of the Corn.
Oh, wow.
No.
Well, I think you need to watch it. It's definitely worth a watch. It's weird.
It's a little
and
dated
now it's dated, but it's still worth a watch. I
mean, if you go into it with that in mind, like this isn't going to be up to today's, graphic standards and things like that. And by graphic, I mean, special effects. It might you might consider it to be a little graphic.
Well, modern day children just bring guns to schools and shoot everyone, so it probably won't be as bad as that, right? Like there's no.
But these guys are like knives and goblins, or knives and demons. That's what I meant.
Ooh, okay. Well, I got to check that out.
Knives and demons, right? Isn't that what you would say? Knives and demons. That's most of it. Where's Crazy Mad? There was no Blue Milk Social last night, so he should have gotten plenty of sleep. Yeah, I know. Crazy
Derek,
Mad's
what'd you do?
A little late. I probably ticked him off. You don't even like us anymore. What can I say?
Come on. I told you don't talk so much.
The drama's pretty thick lately in the Twitterverse. I don't know.
What?
No, really?
Yeah.
Wait.
It's gotten thicker lately. This month has gotten really thick.
Let's not go there.
No, we're not going there. It's just I'm just saying it's thickening up. Anyway, don't keep my Frank and Bill joke based on Murph's bizarre utterings earlier. So let's go back up.
Because I said "ga."
Yeah, sounds like something Bill would say with a mouthful of Frank.
I don't think it would be "ga." Wouldn't it be like?
No,
okay. Running joke is that Bill and Frank was on the Last of Us TV show.
That's not a joke. That really happened.
And the running joke is that I don't know. I was simping for them. Is that what I think that's what they would say? Yeah.
Everyone said it was super gay, and Derek's like, no, it's just two guys in love. And he just kept making it worse for himself. And so now Derek's gay.
So if anybody who's in love, no matter who it is, then it's simping.
The thing was, Derek was saying it wasn't woke, and the chat was, and I didn't watch it yet. And then I came back the next week, and I was like, "Yeah, Derek, it was super woke. You guys on Earth, and they're both gay, and like, yeah, it was pushed hard, but
But you guys, I don't know. I think you guys just get into this woke thing just because it's a.
See, he's already wanting to defend it because he's gay.
You guys are all about it's woke.
Well, that was though.
How do you say?
They pushed it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't have a question of the week. Kind of missing it.
Mo, give us one. Mo's always the backup.
We have something to
talk
about, though.
We do.
Oh yeah, we always have plenty to talk about. Actually,
but we have to do the question
much.
of the week. So we'll give him a minute to do that, just so that we can
Frankenbeans
go there. Did he say Frankenbeans?
Felix did.
Mo, I forgot. Mo brought up that it went beyond that. Dirk implied it was his favorite episode of any show ever. So that's what.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you see the stuff I have to put up with here? Even my own chat just hate.
Read out what
my own chat.
Read out what Felix just said. You have to read it because it's in the chat.
What's he say? No surprise there. Oh,
yeah.
Is it this one? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
No surprise there, Mo Biggs. And then
Derek has to read. Rest in peace, The Last of Us. Yeah, I only watched like 3 episodes of it. Maybe it might have been that episode I stopped watching it.
I finished it. It was just okay for me. Nothing big.
Man, it's been a while since.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, ooh, I can't wait for the next season because it didn't really do much for me. So, nope, I don't care.
Mm-mm.
But I feel that way about the House of the Dragon as well.
Oh, I thought House of the Dragon was amazing. I don't know why you didn't like it.
It was okay.
It was great political and family drama. It was really good.
It didn't live up to anything of Game of Thrones.
It's not Game of Thrones, though. It's a different thing.
It's the same world.
Yeah, but you could.
Gosh. Oh my gosh! Look at this. The things our chat wants us to read out loud.
You got to read that, Derek.
I'm not reading it.
You've got to read it.
Nope.
Murph, you have to read it.
I don't.
The only ones that etiquette demands you read aloud are super chats. So you're good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Start super chat. I don't think our channel get super. Oh man.
I don't even know what that means.
I know. I really don't.
I know what scissoring is, but it's usually 2 chicks, so I have no idea what it is.
Like, is it just beards touching? I don't know. Mo, is that's all I can think of is beards. So,
like that would be like beard scissoring. Wouldn't that just be like 2 men kissing? Beards touching?
That's lips.
Right?
Beards don't kiss.
Yeah, but your mouth's open and they go together.
Oh, okay.
Right? We got to use visual aids. I mean, visual aids. They have to work.
Okay,
Derek, I'm clipping this, and this is why people think you're gay.
It's woke. That's the answer to the question.
Oh, that's too good. It's woke? I would say it's woke. It's not
look what Jason Black said.
Just being gay isn't woke. You've got to be careful about giving whole demographics, orientations, and philosophies away to the far left. That's the mistake they make. Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show, by the way, Jason. Thanks for coming in.
Welcome.
Yeah, thanks for being here, Jason. I'm of the mind that you love who you love, but there's still a way to push. There's still a way to push wokeness.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There is. All this is fun and games.
Walking
anyway.
Dead does their gay characters really well, honestly.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of zombie flicks, so I don't watch it.
It's not really. It's more of an end of the world thing than a zombie thing, honestly. Like zombies are there, but it's more of like a survival and how the world deals with an end of days type of thing.
Oh, okay.
Zombies happen to be there.
happen to be the reason, right?
Yeah. But I mean, especially as the show goes on, the zombies are kind of less and less, really. It's more about people against people.
Oh yeah, I've heard a little bit about that. Okay.
Yeah. I think it was the best show ever made.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the best ensemble show ever made was Firefly. And
I never watched that.
I will
People
die on
love
that
that.
hill. Oh man, the fact that it was canceled had a lot to do with the time slot it was put on, the failing of the producers, maybe director. I'm not exactly sure who was at fault there. They even named the bad guy in the last episode after the person who screwed everything up. That's how mad they got. And then as far as fandom goes, I mean, how many series that are canceled after one season get a full-length feature film a year or 2 years later?
Did Jericho get something like that? I never watched Jericho. Well, and then whatchamacallit got on Netflix, Arrested Development. They did like a whole season or two after being canceled, right? And so did Community. Community's show, someone bought that and they made like a season or two.
But those were better shows.
Than what? Walking Dead?
No, but the Community was pretty good. You know
I
what I mean?
love Community.
But,
I thought it was great.
Yeah, it was a good ensemble show.
They killed off Chevy Chase because he was an asshole to everybody. Like he hated doing the show. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yep, in real life. Yep.
Yeah, in real life.
Dojo is one episode that had nothing to do with the rest of the plot and just two dudes falling in love. They weren't in the rest of the season. So
it was really weird. Yeah, it was very weird. The point of that episode. Yeah.
Walking Dead isn't a zombie show.
Yeah, I know. Right? The name kind of. Well, okay.
If you watch a zombie movie, you don't get a lot of that in the show. You just don't. You know what I mean? There's not a lot of. They're not fighting zombies every episode. Like it might be like 1 or 2 episodes out of 10.
I do have to say I liked Zombieland. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh, I love the Zombieland movie. The second one I thought was even better. I thought it was hilarious with the girl. Right. Yeah, the stupid girl.
Because I only saw the first one.
Oh, they add a new girl to it, and she's hilarious.
Okay.
So Jason Black says, woke is when shallow, politically captured ideologues make something terrible because they're more concerned with identity politics than the fundamentals of entertainment.
Which that would be episode 3, that it was more political than entertainment or anything.
Yeah.
They were trying to get an award.
After that, it was a soap opera. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah, I give him that.
Right.
But it's a good soap opera.
It was. It really was. So, well, no sign of Crazy Mad at all.
It's because it's October and he's a genie or a Jen, so he's got to stay. He's got to stay in his lamp.
There's something. Maybe we've made him mad. Maybe the
what's this whole
Jar Jar Binks comment? I
made the
Jar Jar Binks comment.
Crazy Mad loves me, so it's not me.
I don't know if I'd go that far, Murph.
I wasn't here last week, so you fucked something up.
There you go. There you go. Well, okay, so we have some interesting things to talk about tonight. We want to talk about some unsolved mysteries. And if you guys remember the show, and they just recently released a new show on Netflix with more unsolved mysteries that are more recent.
I did not know that.
Yeah, so there's a couple new seasons, I think, out on there, and that's pretty cool.
Okay,
so yeah, you should check it out. And it's weird because the old host isn't on there.
Seriously? Was he dead?
Well, he's passed on, I think. But
did someone
just weird
murder him?
Not seeing him. You know,
is his death an unsolved mystery?
Maybe, I don't know. But
Derek, you were supposed to look that up.
I don't know about his unsolved mystery. What are you talking?
Google it. You have a computer in front of your face.
No. Nah. Okay, we are going to play the song, though, before we get started. So how about that?
Okay.
We'll play the song and get us in the mood.
In the mood.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a space right there. That's not scary, but now there it is.
That is.
We got to
Don't let it
talk
get
through
too
it
long.
and get demonetized.
Yeah, I was just going to say, don't let it go too long or it'll be
Yeah.
I'll stop.
Dude, he
Woo,
looks
all right.
good then, and that was like the 80s or 90s, right? So
Yeah,
he
he
probably
was
died like
old,
20
man.
years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But even his voice was a little creepy, how he talked.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It really was.
I'm sure that was for effect.
Mm-hmm.
It was the seriousness that he talked in, and it made it sound so ominous and like, you know, this could happen anywhere in your backyard, man. And if you don't watch, there they are. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to be right there with you.
Right.
So,
And
Did
that's kind of
Raven Radio just say that a Murph and Dirk show isn't really a Murph and Dirk show? They talk to other people, so it's something totally different.
that's true.
It's
true.
still it's still us though.
Yeah.
It's
yes,
us
but
with
look
somebody.
at the next comment. Look at the next comment.
Josh makes a salient point. Murph and Dirk are usually set pieces on this show, and the real focus is only on the guest. Boom! There it is. That means we're doing the right thing. That's
I think
what
so. Yep.
So how awesome is that? Okay.
Hey,
So while we have this in everybody's like fresh in everybody's mind,
are we waiting to the end to let the chat know that Dojo's a murderer and we unsolved the mystery? Or are we saving that? No spoilers?
You just gave it away.
Just hang on to that one, okay?
Yeah.
Dojo, you have been brought here tonight. Did the cops come in? Are they there yet? Are they at the door? We got them. That's our new thing.
See, here's the thing, guys. If the government wants to come take away all my guns, they better bring a bunch of their own.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
Oh boy. Okay, so Dojo, you said that you had some stories that you wanted to share with us, and so we'll let you start since you're the guest.
So let me ask you this question. You said from my hometown. Does it count if it's from? See, I was born in Detroit, so as you can probably imagine, there's a lot associated with Detroit and that area that I counted as my hometown. Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's great.
So the first one I'll talk about is one that's really widely known, but some of the details might not be. And that's the disappearance of Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy Hoffa was in the Teamsters. And in 1975, he was in Bloomfield Township. He had arranged to meet two guys from the Detroit mob, Provenzano and Giancone. He had arranged to meet them for dinner. Those two never showed up. So he called home and said, I guess I'll be home in a little while. And then he called a friend to complain that the other two never showed up. Well, he was last seen in a maroon Mercury Marquis. Just so happens that although those two guys who didn't show up were literally in New Jersey at the time, Giancone's son has a red Mercury Marquis. So, or did in 1975. Hoffa was never seen again. Now, there's been a number of yards that were dug up. Even, what's his name? Geraldo Rivera had a special live show where they were going to open Hoffa's vault. And it was a really, really big deal that they talked about for like months before the event. And it was empty. There was nothing.
I remember that.
Literally nothing.
I remember that.
He had so much egg on his face for that. But yeah, a lot of people have claimed to have had his remains in their yard, and they bring in backhoes and they dig nothing. Nobody's ever found him again.
That's disappointing.
But I should also point out that the Detroit River is pretty close to where he went missing. Although I do have to say this too, where he went missing was at the time at least one of the richest per capita cities in the nation. It was Bloomfield Hills, very rich area. Tim Allen has a home there. A lot of the Pistons and Red Wings have homes there. So very, very rich. Okay, so the next one is going back.
Hold on just a second. I want to welcome Good Stuff to the show.
Hey, good to see you, man.
Yeah, welcome. He says
Mr.
Al
Good
Capone.
Stuff.
No, not Al Capone. Giancone.
I mean, it looks like Al Capone.
That is funny.
Oh, he's correct. You know what? He's talking about Al Capone's vault.
Yeah.
I think he's right about that. Yep. That was Geraldo Rivera's big deal.
Yeah, it was Al Capone's vault.
He's right.
That's true. Okay.
Going back a ways from 75, in 1950, a flight left LaGuardia Airport in New York. And when it got over Michigan, Lake Michigan in particular, they radioed into the tower and said, may we descend to 2,500 feet because at 3,500 feet, we're experiencing too much turbulence from this electrical storm. That was the last time that plane had ever been heard from.
Yeah.
They found some debris in the lake. They found body parts in the lake, but they've still never found the plane. In addition to that, though, they have found several unmarked graves that did have passengers from the plane in the graves, and they've even found a mass grave that had people from the plane in it. But no one knows.
Wow.
No one knows who buried the people from the plane.
Wow.
This plane had 55 passengers, 3 crew members, and of the passengers, 6 were kids. So, yeah, 6 children were on that plane. So I don't know if there was somebody of a VIP on the plane or something. Although you'd think that when you read about it, they might mention that there was a VIP, like a celebrity or a mobster or something. No mention of that, just that there were 55 passengers. And so the mystery of it is, okay, number one, where's the plane? Because every year there's an organization called the MSRA, which is actually a shipwreck organization. It's a nonprofit. They look for the plane every year. Still can't find the plane. And then I see somebody said something about, were the bodies buried by giants?
Yeah, I think Mo is hitting it right on the nose. They were buried by giants. Yep.
It's so
they were
weird.
Eaten by giants.
That's true. They could be eaten.
But their bodies were found in a mass grave. So,
well, right.
That's so strange
their
about
bones,
it.
not their bodies, or was it their bodies?
Oh my gosh! Here we go, Samantha.
Because they're just going to eat them and let the bones.
Many years later, so it would only be their bones that will remain.
There we go. Giants ate them.
Can't dispute it because we don't know.
Suck on that, Mo.
All right. So the next one is the Ypsilanti Ripper. Ypsilanti is very close to Ann Arbor, which you guys might be more familiar with because that's where U of M is. Ypsilanti, though, has Eastern Michigan University. Those two colleges were, most of the co-eds there were terrified because this Ypsilanti Ripper, he would select brunette, Caucasian, menstruating women. And when I say women, I use the term loosely because some of them were as young as 13 that he abducted and killed.
Man, Derek, that hit you on all 4. He would have came after you.
Maybe.
So these women all look like his mother.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They look like his mom. They were all stabbed and beaten. And get this, there was a case in California that they attribute to the Ypsilanti Ripper because he okay, good stuff. Nice.
There you go.
He and his friend had flown to California for a vacation, and there was a woman who looked just like his mother who was abducted, stabbed, and beaten in California.
Sheesh, man.
While he was there.
Dang.
Yeah. Okay,
wow.
the last one I have hits very close to home. It was called the Oakland County Child Killer. It was in 1976, 1977. 4 kids in particular who were abducted. But the reason it hits close to home, well, number one, I lived in Oakland County at the time, and I was about 10 years old. So it wasn't just girls. He was abducting boys as well. But he also abducted the sister of one of my classmates. So she was a 12-year-old. She had a fight with her mom Christmas Eve, took off on her bike and went to a hobby store. She was seen by a family friend at the hobby store, but never seen again. Her bike was found behind the hobby store. They found her later, dressed neatly. She she was well fed and bathed before she was dressed and placed in the snow within eyesight of the Troy Police Department. So she was abducted in Royal Oak. Her body was found in Troy. That's about, I don't know, 20 minutes apart. So very close and still within Oakland County.
Wow.
They think they may have identified him a number of different times. Yeah.
So I think that's one of the guys, right?
Yeah. So the one on the bottom right was my classmate's sister.
Oh man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know her or go to school with her, or
no? Well,
so you saw her.
She was 2 years older than me, so it's not like we hung out. But I knew her sister, and we were in classes together. You know, English, and then you move over to French, and whatever. But so yeah, I knew of her, but we weren't friends. But yeah, her sister was pretty shaken, obviously.
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, how did it feel growing up with that happening around you?
A lot of us, we were sort of on lockdown. Like parents started driving to the school to pick up their kids from school rather than let them walk home. Like my school would have been, I don't know, maybe a half a mile from home, but mom didn't, no way you're walking a half a mile. So she came and got me.
Yeah, yeah. It's really creepy. I mean, it's so weird to think that this kind of stuff can happen like right where you're at. I think that's what freaks me out the most,
Yeah.
Because who knows? I mean, you don't really know your neighbors that well. And especially like living in cities, is, you just have no clue. People can kind of get more anonymous, I feel like they can hide.
So Royal Oak, at the time, was about a city of 80,000 people. So it was a small suburb of Detroit.
Yeah.
But I mean, Royal Oak spans from like 10 mile to 14 mile. And, famously, Eminem rapped about 8 Mile. 8 Mile was the demarcation between the suburbs and the city. That's why he rapped about 8 Mile.
Right.
So Royal Oak is as close as 11 Mile or 10 Mile. So it's really close to the city.
Okay. Yeah, I've been up in there and been to Royal Oak a couple times too. It's really weird to, I kind of know the layout a little bit. I've been up there with some friends and, but I know, I mean, Detroit's a rough city. So to have these kind of stories, I mean, it's like Detroit's one of the roughest cities of, I think, of all the states. So
yeah. So Detroit, East St. Louis, and Washington, D.C. trade places with one another as the murder capital of the world throughout the years. Yet not the nation, the world.
Right.
Gosh.
Yep. It's really ridiculous. Or Eminem did it. Yeah. Good Stuff's the only suspect. And then he said, or Eminem did it.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, man. That's cool. I mean, for me, these stories are always intriguing. I love to watch, and especially now in this month, I love to watch real, I don't know, murder mysteries, murder stories. I don't know if you've been following like all the Murdoch, I think is the name of it. The Murdoch killings or whatever. He's the man that just got sentenced for killing his son and his wife.
Oh,
you guys been following that at all?
No.
Down in, I think it's South Carolina. Could be North Carolina. I always get it mixed up. But yeah, I mean, I love to watch these kinds of things and follow them and see what's going on. It's very captivating. And it's weird how these kind of stories are so, enthralling. They kind of suck you in, even though they're horrifying at the same time.
Right.
So, but I've narrowed it down for you. Murder is boring. What? No, I don't think so. I think it's fascinating, but I don't know. I always wonder what's going through somebody's head. I mean, how could you look at this guy and these children right here? How could you do that kind of thing? You know what I mean? Just to even get in the mind of their psyche, to even understand what's going on. It's amazing to me.
How could you shoot a 12-year-old girl in the face with a shotgun?
Yeah, that's baffling. It's very baffling to me. I don't even know how you could bring yourself to do any of that, let alone the most horrifying things you could think of. But
when I think about it, the only person I think I could shoot in the face,
Raiden Radio's got it, see?
Without feeling bad, would be Derek.
Hey, there you go.
Wow.
Then I'm doing my job.
Yes. Yes.
I don't find murders intriguing as mysteries. They're just sad. Person goes missing, usually turns up dead. If they're ever found, it's not fun. I mean, some of this, but these are still unsolved. So just because they found the guy doesn't mean that he's the actual murderer.
Yeah.
The
murderers
mystery. Are still, it's a mystery. We don't know. That guy was kind of tied to it, but he's the actual one.
They have hair that was found in his car and on the crime scenes, but all that can prove is that it's from somebody from his bloodline. They can't prove that it was him. It could have been a brother, an ancestor, and I mean, that's really close though. So they're pretty sure, but to be convicted of murder, it's beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. Okay. So those were pretty good stories. Murph, do you have a story?
I was looking up a lot of the ones from my hometown. Like, there's not like a story. It's just like, oh, this person was stabbed. They don't know how. But two that I could think of is one was from my dad and my grandfather. They always told me there was this story when they were on the turnpike in Pennsylvania. It was late at night and there's like no one on the road. So this is back in like the late 70s. They don't have telephones on the road or anything. And there's a truck that went in front of them, cut them off, and then the truck jackknifed. And so when it jackknifed, my dad and my grandfather got out of their car to go over to the guy, like, to make sure he's all right. There was no one in the truck. There's no one in the truck. So, of course, they start thinking that he, like, either jumped out or got flung. They get, like, flashlights. This is going on for, like, 30, 40 minutes. They're looking all around and stuff. They're not finding anybody. And they're like, this doesn't make sense. Like, they're like, they didn't see a body get thrown out. There's no blood. There's no nothing. And out of nowhere, a cop comes in a police car, and the driver of the truck's in the police car. Yeah. And so somehow he got out, and then yet somehow didn't see my dad or my grandfather. Went and walked to the police station and got a police and came back.
Oh my gosh.
So they were always like, they even thought, like, what was that, an angel? Or like, what was that? They were like, he wasn't hurt. His truck got jackknifed, but they never saw anything that happened. You know what I mean? And so that was something that was always weird to them, that they can't explain it. Like, you would see it, like they were on
So I got to say this, Kevin. Wouldn't they ask the guy? Like, hey, what happened?
Yeah.
Where'd you go? How'd you get out?
You know what? I never asked that. Maybe I'll have to find that out. I'll find that next week. Stay tuned.
This was the 70s, right?
Next week. Yeah.
Hey, this was the 70s, right? So they were probably high on something at that time.
Hey, I can't wait till you see my dad again, because you just said that about him and his father. So you're screwed now, boy. You're screwed.
It's all good. Your dad likes me better than he likes you anyway. It's all good.
He'll probably let me shoot you in the face now after that comment.
Listen to these threats on live YouTube right now. Oh, look at this. I was tripping on LSD with some friends walking a railroad track, not used anymore, next to a cemetery in the woods. Late, so it's dark. We found a rolled up carpet tied with red on it. Was it blood?
Whoa.
Ooh, that's creepy. Yuck. Man.
You know what's creepy?
You guys remember the movie? What's that?
Sometimes I'll like just get on things on YouTube. And the one time I got on this thing where it was pictures taken before someone died. And it's like really creepy. Like, one is the picture of like these two kids on a hill before a lightning storm. So their hair is all standing, and then they died after it. But then there's two pictures. There's pictures. There's a girl that the murderer would always take a picture before he'd kill them. So you literally see her like last moment, which that's chilling.
Oh yeah, it is.
And then
Who
there's a
wants to see- I
family.
don't know.
There's a family picture, and there's a guy behind them. Like they took a picture outside of the car, and the guy behind them kills the dad.
Oh jeez.
Dang.
Yeah, and it's like,
Crazy.
oh man, that's spooky.
No, that's no
Seeing
good.
those things. Yeah.
Do you guys ever see Fort Apache the Bronx, the movie?
No.
What?
Fort Apache.
I've
the
heard of
Bronx.
it, but no.
I think it was it's a cop movie. It was in New York, set in New York back in I think it was the 70s, early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. Anyway, it was always a creepy movie to me as a kid because I remember they rolled up this hooker, in a carpet. And so they killed her and rolled her up in a carpet. And I just remember the visual of them rolling her up and carrying her out. So when he put that, comment up there on that carpet, and I was like, oh my God, it's one of the creepiest visuals, I think.
So now another one that I think is pretty interesting is, do you remember when Penn State came out with that stuff of that assistant coach getting, yeah. Mm-hmm. So all this stuff started coming out like years prior. And here's the crazy thing. Like people used to joke about him that he was like that, but it was always like a joke, like, hey, don't go in the bathroom if he's there. Wow. But there was a detective like 20 years before that came out that evidently had so much stuff, and the detective's car was found like 10 miles from Penn State, which if you're ever at Penn State, there's nothing around it. Like there's nothing there. It's Penn State and nothing. Okay. So his car was found with papers all over the place, and he was never found again. And it kind of resurfaced when that all came up because someone got to him back then. So that didn't come out 20 years. So it was always like, well, where'd that guy's body go? Where nobody knows, but he definitely knew stuff. Yeah. So imagine if that didn't happen, that how many kids wouldn't have been, damaged 20 years later after that detective. But you think there would have been more of a search after he like was missing. Like clearly some shit's up. Like what's going on here?
But every time I hear those murder mysteries, when people go missing, it's really weird how they don't really get that excited about it. They don't seem to really go after a lot of clues real fast. It takes a lot of time and effort, and the family usually has to fight to get people to look after them. And you'll hear it time and time again in these stories. If you watch enough of them, it happens over and over and over again.
Yeah, like someone from the community finds something in water or in the woods or something rather than...
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like you would think that it would just get everybody working on it, and they don't. But
it's probably a lot harder than when you think, right? You know what I mean? Like your leads only go so far, Yeah. So it was aliens.
Yeah. Bodies aren't easy to move. I can't imagine wrapping one in a heavy carpet makes it easier. Oh yeah, that'd be terrible. It'd make it really bad. Now that's one unsolved mystery I can figure out. Must be talking about aliens.
Yep.
So I have a story.
Does he mean illegal aliens? Did this get political again? Is he saying Mexicans killed Penn State?
That's on you.
I'm just trying to read the room. Just want to make sure our chat's not going towards racism.
Did you give your story? Is that all your story that you have left, or
those are the two? I mean, there's other stuff from where I'm from home, but they're all like, there's nothing to it. It's like, oh, this person was last seen and now they're dead, or this person was stabbed. They just don't know who did it. There's nothing like intriguing about it. Just sad.
Well, the story that I have is an actual unsolved mystery still. This happened in 2001, and I'll try to share. I don't know if I have pictures. I'm gonna have to get a picture of her.
Did you take a picture before you killed her or after?
Well, I never reveal my secrets.
You just are going to. You're just bringing your pictures up.
I'm going to tell the story. So
there we go. Now you're not going to show the pictures. Yeah.
Let me get the image in a new tab here and see.
Wait, now you're showing the image? You're all over the place.
I showed images for other stories.
Case closed. You're the murderer.
Okay, so this is interesting. Now, this woman went missing. Patricia Adkins. Sorry, the whole thing isn't showing on the pic, but in 2001, she was working at Honda, the Honda plant, which is only about 3 to 5 miles from my house. And
Hello?
You went mute.
Derek, you muted yourself. Derek?
I'm not sure what happened.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know.
So
Something went out.
Last thing we heard is that she worked at Honda.
Okay, she worked at the Honda plant,
Wait,
just a couple
pause.
miles from my house.
Pause.
Why?
Because Mo had a backup to that question about now that's one unsolved mystery you could solve. He said, question of the week, are more people, one, lazy or two, hardworking? So he's saying police are lazy and that's why they don't find the bodies.
Okay.
That's just hilarious.
You interrupted me for that. I can't believe
Well, I
that.
thought that was
Anyway,
funny. I thought that was funny, and I didn't know if you'd go mute again. So just trying to keep it, you know?
all right. Let me get my story out here.
Show must
So
go
she
on.
was working at Honda, and she had a boyfriend that she met at work. He was supposedly married. This is the story. So
Were you working at Honda at this time?
no. And so she was going on a vacation with him. So she was telling somebody that she knew, a friend or something. And she was supposed to meet with him after work. And they were going to like go away on this week trip, unbeknownst to the man's wife, and kind of have their own week getaway, you know, as a couple. And so they said that she jumped in the back of his truck and he was going to hide her so that nobody could see her go with him until they got far enough away to where everybody, couldn't see him anymore. And then she'd be able to get in the car with him or get in the cab with him. And they never saw her again. When she got in the truck, that was the last time anybody had seen anything. And that's it. Never found her. Don't know what's happened ever since. They have interviewed the supposed boyfriend, and he has not been charged with any murder. They can't prove that he was involved with her. And I think he's even had like cases brought against, investigators and everything to keep his name out of the paper, keep his name out of any of the investigations because they can't prove that he's a part of it.
So we're going to get sued now because you brought this up.
I didn't bring his name in, so as long as you don't say his name, but
what's his name?
Such a mess. Anyway, I didn't interrupt you this much with your story.
It's funny when I do it to you, though. So.
It's really not.
You really think annoying. It is.
It's you think mind, it is.
You obviously think it is.
No, Joe, everything's in my mind. That's how it works.
But I think the most interesting piece of this is that, well, first off, it's in my backyard, but two, they haven't found her remains and they still can't tie anybody to it. There was a drop of blood that they found in the back of the truck on a tarp. One drop of blood.
One drop.
And and they can't explain anything else with it. So they don't have enough evidence to uncover anything. Good question. And so, okay. Yeah. What about the boyfriend's wife? Well, they've interviewed her. There's a lot of people that speculate that she was in on it because she got mad. She found out about the affair and she made him get rid of her body. That's a theory. And other people speculate that she doesn't know a thing and that she really is in the dark about all of it. And that maybe he got rid of her because he didn't want to mess up his marriage. So it's a convoluted story, but I could see it going either way. It's what's interesting about it.
Can he account for his whereabouts after he left work that day?
Yes, he can. He was with, I think they say he was with his wife and he was, with his family. And so the alibi's there.
Huh.
I was always too American to work in Marysville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're definitely Honda, but you know, we got Scott's Miracle Grow here too. So I'm Gen X, and the carpet moving is a deal breaker for me. Good stuff says it's funny, Murph. You're just feeding us fire, man. I don't know why you did that good stuff, but okay. Yeah, so if his wife was in on it, that's not much of an alibi. Well, and the problem is they don't have enough evidence to keep, you know, harassing.
Yeah, because even a drop of blood, like, that's crazy. That's only one drop. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it's
that
not
seems
much
more
to go
like,
on.
Well, they
yeah,
could have cleaned. They could have cleaned the scene. You know,
I know, but you think if they clean the scene that well, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's either all or nothing. Like, you'd have one drop, like they miss one. You know, that's like,
Okay.
that just seems tough to.
Yeah. I think it's tough too. It's kind of sad because, you know, it's going on what, 22 years now that she's been missing.
Yeah, for people to not have answers.
Yeah, and her family, they've been on Dateline, they've been on other TV shows about this, and you know, it's heartbreaking. Her daughter is now an adult, and you know, just to know they grow up without their parents and things like that, you know, it's crazy. So there could have been upwards of 3 drops, but the cops were too lazy to keep looking once they found the first. Oh boy.
Oh man.
So there's our Unsolved Mysteries. I mean, this is intriguing for me, and it's fun to talk about. I don't love that these people went through so much heartache and had to go through what they did.
No, yeah.
But it's very interesting to think that this kind of stuff, it hits really close to home, even though, you know, you might see it on TV.
How you don't go insane just not having the answer, like, because part of me would still be like, did they just leave to have a different life? Like, were they that unhappy that they just there was a situation and you know?
But she abandoned her daughter.
Right.
People do that.
Question.
People do that.
Wow, that's
deep.
Yeah.
That's a heavy one, and that's why everybody believes it was a murder, because they her daughter was her life basically, and her sister's like, we had a great relationship, and for her to leave me, you know, her daughter like this without any explanation, without, you know, anything, it just doesn't make sense. And so, yeah, I would believe she's been murdered, man. I mean, the way the evidence has been talked about and things like that, I just don't see it being any other way.
So some of the best TV shows, in my opinion, are the murder mysteries, like Criminal Minds, NCIS, CSI. Those are some of the best shows because they're so intriguing. Yeah, I know it's all fiction, but that's fun too.
Yeah, I think
Murder,
so too.
She Wrote.
It's great.
Oh, you're going way back.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Matlock.
That's a classic. Yeah.
Dragnet.
You know what? There was one that was all about an insurance adjuster who would find people who were committing fraud on their insurance policies, and it was called Banachek.
Oh,
I've never heard that. No.
George Papard played the lead role in Banachek.
Should we know who that is?
Yeah, you really should, actually.
What's his big movie or something that I know him?
I think he was in what was the one about the helicopter? Steel Wolf or something?
Airwolf.
Maybe it was Airwolf.
Okay.
He was in that too.
Okay.
Wow.
This is going back to when I was a kid, so you may not be old enough, Murph.
I was born 83.
Yeah, shut up. Can you kick him?
Derek, yeah, I can kick him all day. Yes. Yes, I can.
Right. So
that's funny. Yeah.
Oh, there you go, Jim.
Not expecting that much by anyone here. Yes, right. See, even they don't put anything into what he says. Steel Wolf sounds like it'd be a CG comic. Yes. Maybe that's a good title to use.
Right.
No offense. Thanks, Jim. Hey, I forgot to say hello, Jim, by the way, even though we're reading your comments for the last 10 to 15 minutes. So, but welcome anyway. We'll let him back in now. Hey.
No, I'm talking. I ain't talking.
Good.
Sounds like you are.
I wish that would have happened during my story.
That's what you need to do. You tell a story, you just kick me. That's all you need to do.
True.
You
have
can
the
also
power.
mute him, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
mute it.
Yeah. So this is really
But, you know,
it just shows you he wants it. You know what I mean?
what it
Because he
shows
he had
is
all the power and he never
the
shut me
lack
up.
of mutual respect. Lack of mutual respect.
Well, the guy's threatening to shoot you in the face. I think you can mute him.
Okay, look at this. Cut Murph some slack. He's still devastated. Top pick the Beatles were disqualified from the best American bands list.
They are the best American band. What is going on here?
Oh my gosh, you're ridiculous.
Chrome
boy.
Dog versus Steel
So
Wolf.
ridiculous, man. Okay, well, Dojo, the reason you're here is because you have a book out, and we want to let you have some time to talk about that and to, explain what you've been up to. And I'm going to give the floor to you now.
And whoa! Before he gets the floor,
should have known.
You've got to explain why your book has something to do with Halloween or Unsolved Mysteries. Go.
Unsolved Mysteries.
Oh, what?
All right. No, I could tie it somehow. Let's see here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the people in this country, this occupied island nation, a lot of them have an ability called shifting. Okay. They can take pain from a person and put it into this metal. Naya, the main character, cannot. So she's called a shifter because she shifts pain from one person to another. That in itself is a mystery because she's got, her powers are different. They're almost like a mutation of a mutation.
Okay.
So now Janice never calls it mutation. It's just an innate ability that some people have. But I thought it was really clever that she called it the Healing Wars because that sounds contradictory, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So there is a group, a religious organization called the Healers League, and they are the one that most people turn to when they're injured. They go there for healing and pain relief, basically. But because Naya can't transfer it into the metal, she can't go there to be a healer. Because she would have to transfer it to another person. So she'd taken it from one and she'd be hurting somebody else. So that wouldn't work for them. Okay. The metal that some of them can transfer the pain into, they sometimes fashion into weapons. So if you've got an axe that's made of this blue metal that's also filled with other people's pain, when it delivers a wound, you've got the axe wound, the pain that goes with that, plus all of the extra pain that was transferred to this metal. So it's excruciating to be harmed. And sometimes they have the school marms at this healers league, or I guess they would be like priests or bishops or whatever. They use like punishment sticks that they'll hit you with that transfer pain to you far more than just hitting you with something would.
Wow.
Yeah, so you could transfer it to the metal, make the metal into a bracelet, and if somebody grabs your wrist, they get shocked with pain because they've grabbed this metal. So there's a lot of really cool uses for this that Janice has written.
Okay.
So Naya is an orphan. She is homeless. She's got to stay out of sight of the occupying army that's taken over her nation. And this is really a hero's journey. She goes from very meager beginnings, realizes that somebody's got to do something, and decides that somebody, I guess, is going to be me because nobody else is. And she does recruit some friends. So, and this book, the series of books right here by Janice Hardy was aimed at a young adult audience.
I remember that. Yeah, I thought that was so cool.
My wife read it and said, listen, I know you like Wheel of Time, you like, The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings and those kinds of books. I think, I think that despite the fact that you like those, you would really like this, even though it's aimed at a young adult audience. Okay. There's Blue Fire and Darkfall.
Very cool.
So she said,
would you consider them close to Lord of the Rings? Like, is it, or is it very different?
no, it's very different. In fact, if I had to liken these to another series of books, I would say it's a lot more like Hunger Games or Divergent.
Okay.
Oh, okay. That makes
sense. So
sense.
the female protagonist starts from meager beginnings and basically becomes the hero.
Okay.
And it's a typical hero's journey. But if you read this, that doesn't mean you're going to feel like you're reading Hunger Games over again. This really is very unique, and it's a great series of books. So my wife read it, said that I would like it. She was right. I did. I was talking to my friend Steve about it, and Steve said, "Oh yeah, I've read them. Do you want to talk to the author?"
Oh, nice.
Cool.
That's cool. Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to the author. So it turns out that Steve works with her husband.
Oh, nice. So
he got me in touch with her. We talked about turning this into a comic book. She and her husband are kind of comic book fans, not like you and I are, but like comic book fans, sort of adjunct. And she said, "Yeah, I'm excited about this. Let's do this." So and here we are.
Very cool.
Now, Dojo, I did have a question. Mm-hmm. So, like, for instance, because our pain deals with our nerves, since they can transfer the pain. So, like, for instance, you getting hit in the head or your hands, there's more nerves there, so it hurts worse. So, say someone hits me in the hammer with my hand, when I would transfer that to somebody else, you touch their arm, would their arm feel like it got smacked with a hammer, or wherever it leads to, it would just feel as bad as how bad it would be for that person's hand, just in a different part of the body?
It would feel as if it would feel as if they got hit in the hand with the hammer.
Even if it touched their shoulder, it would be more intense than a hammer hitting your shoulder than your hand.
If you drew pain from somebody who got hit in the hand, and transferred it via their shoulder, it would still go right to their hand.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't matter where you. Okay, so you could touch their head, and it's not like they're getting blood head trauma. It would always go to whatever. So what if they did it? So what if a person like is missing a hand, and the person do they still feel that, or like the nerves would still be there, or no?
Well, I don't know if you've heard of it before, but there is phantom pain for those that are amputees.
Yeah.
And so it would feel to them as if they still had a hand and it just got hit with a hammer.
What about someone who can't feel, though, like someone in a wheelchair? Would they still feel?
She doesn't delve into that. So, I mean, I would assume.
Never happened. It never happened to where that could go into somebody's.
Anyway.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
I mean, though, to speculate, I would think that because pain is experienced as, like you said, through your nerves, your synapses in your brain pick up the pain, right?
Yeah.
So I think if somebody were, to transfer that pain into somebody who's been paralyzed and can't feel from like the waist down, then it was a leg injury. I think their brain would register that pain as if it were.
Okay.
This is my speculation on that one.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it's cool.
Now, my wife has fibromyalgia and often has pain where there isn't any real cause for it.
Yeah.
Like suddenly her arm is killing her. She's like, I didn't hit my arm. The dog didn't bite my arm. There's no reason for my arm to be hurting right now, and it's killing me.
The nerves are just flaring.
Right. So it's all about the nerves and the synapses that they connect to in the brain.
Mm-hmm. I was just thinking it'd be interesting, like say someone was, got like a concussion, if someone could then take it, but like put it in what their hand would feel. You know what I mean? Like that would have been a cool thing that you could take on other people's pain because it wouldn't be as bad for you as it was them. But I get why she didn't do that. So
yeah, it's a cool one. Are you going to adapt all 3 books?
The plan is to adapt all 3. The current plan, if all goes well here, is that each book will be represented by 5 comic books.
Nice.
So it'll be like 3 5-issue miniseries. So this one, The Shifter, book 1, part 1, will be the first 92 pages of the novel, The Shifter.
Oh, okay. That's really nice.
It was
so. Oh, go ahead. I didn't
It
mean
was
to
kind of
interrupt you.
difficult to distill the 92 pages down to this 28-page
Okay.
comic book, as you can probably
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
But so I had to pick the scenes that I felt would move the story along best. And, you know, a lot of cases, a picture's worth 1,000 words, where the picture covers like many pages of explanation or whatever. And that's
Sure.
helpful. That does help bring it down. Another thing that's very helpful is my editor is the author, Janice. So she's going through and she's got final approval on what this book says and shows.
Good.
What's the chat going on about? Are they just in a whole different world?
They're on a whole different plane, but I'm just highlighting stuff and just putting it up there. But yeah, no, for me, I like that you're adapting this because we don't see any of this. We're not seeing many books being adapted in comic form, and I think it's a neat idea. There's probably a lot of books out there that could be translated to this, and it's cool to make it all in all kinds of different mediums like that.
Lord of the Rings would have been a cool comic book. Really would have. Because Tolkien really does describe things. So you could make a lot of comics, honestly, out of the Lord of the Rings.
Well, you know the Game of Thrones was, right?
Yeah. Yep.
The Left Behind
There's a comic book of Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah. It was pretty,
I didn't know that.
Pretty successful too. Are you guys familiar with the Left Behind series? It was a series of about 14 or 15 novels, and it was adapted into 2 movies starring Kirk Cameron.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's about where people get raptured, right? The world after rapture.
There was a series of comic books that was called Left Behind that adapted.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did know they did make comics of Steven Spielberg's story, where all the worlds came together from him. What was that thing called?
Is it The Stand or
No, The Stand's in it.
The Dark Tower.
Yeah, the Dark Tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Stand's part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
What is it
Left
called?
Behind. I remember that.
Oh, okay.
Left Behind book.
Yeah. I couldn't read the title.
At the time, that was an ambitious thing when Left Behind came out like that, because not only were they pushing the books and they became a popular series, but the comics came out too. They were hitting multi entertainment. You know, they were doing a movie and they were doing all kinds of stuff, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, they were.
Because I remember there was a story in the Left Behind where there's like a military group trying to kill the Antichrist, right? Isn't there something like that going on?
Yep.
Like it's not just normal people. There's
it.
Other stuff going on. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what's this?
This one is Anne McCaffrey's Dragonflight. So this was a series as well, adapted into comic book form from her novels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Very nice. I like that. The covers are nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who came up with the interpretation of the characters?
The interpretation of them? You mean for the comic books?
Yeah, because to make them from the book into a comic form, you have to design the characters, right?
Oh, so what they look like.
Description and actually,
right. So that was a combination of Janice and I both. So I talked to her about it. Like, for example, I asked her, what age is Naya? Is she 13? Is she 18? She said, no, she's mid-teens at most. So, I'm glad you're on that cover. This is actually a perfect segue into talking about the Renzo Rodriguez cover, the one you're showing right now with the sword.
Yeah.
When Renzo first did this, Renzo really likes drawing the sexy ladies, okay? When he first drew this cover, he made her really sexy. And I was like, you know what, dude? She's like 14 or 15. Can you?
Yeah.
Can you tone that
too much?
And he's like, I got you. I understand. So I think he did a great job of keeping her attractive, but not overdoing the sexiness.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's cool too. I mean, good placement of the little chicken there, and
right, exactly. And you know what?
That's cool.
Throughout, if you scroll up to the other cover, the one that's more of like a movie cover.
Like this. Is that the one you meant?
Yeah, that one. That one there.
Okay.
You see that there are several. Whoops, a little too far. You'll see that there are several little kids on there too, and that's something that Zilson is really good at doing. Is he's drawing kids as kids with the more of a rounded features, youthful appearance, as opposed to just a small adult. You know what I mean? Some artists don't have the skill to draw a
It'll be an
youthful
adult's face
appearance.
on a little kid's body.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
That sometimes they look like an adult, just smaller.
Yeah. Creepy. Okay.
That's
I like
interesting.
that
do
purple
I
cover.
like the art.
Yeah, the purple cover you see there is the making of the Shifter ash can.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
okay.
It's up. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, on Fund My Comic, everything has to be in dollar amount order. So I couldn't put the main books first because this ash can is just $8. It's 20
okay.
pages, and it shows a lot of the formation of the characters, the sketches, and things like that. Next up is, I believe, the coloring book, which has the same cover as the main book.
Okay. So it's $10,
that's right,
right?
there.
Yep.
$10 for the coloring book. That's 22 pages. It does contain some scenes from inside the book and various other sketches too to color.
Cool.
Beneath that, I believe, is the main book.
Okay.
Because the price point of the main book now is $15. I changed the price point because the first time around this campaign did not fund. I had a couple of things that I needed to re-strategize. One was the goal. The goal was originally $10,000 because keep in mind, guys, that I also have to pay a licensing fee to Janus.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So there's something there
that was part of it.
Yep. So the goal, though, for this book here is $5,000. I think that's more reasonable, and you should be able to reach that with a 28-page book.
Okay.
That's really nice.
After the main book, the variant by Renzo is $18. It's just a little bit more because he was a little pricier, but that's okay. It's definitely worth it. A lot of people love that cover, so I love to go with that.
That is a cool cover.
As you can see on the left there, that's the interior artist, Zilson Costa, who is another one of those Brazilian artists. Now, Zilson has worked with me before. He drew Siamese number 3 and 4.
Okay.
Okay.
So I've worked with him before. He's great to work with. He's pretty fast, too, to be honest with you.
Need to zoom in.
Won't let you zoom in?
Yeah, but when it does, it moves things too much. So I'm going to pull it. I'm just going to leave
hate that.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to leave it where it's at. But I like the border. I like the way he draws the borders of the panels.
Oh, yeah. The puzzle pieces there is pretty cool. Yep.
Yep. Which is nice. But yeah, this looks cool.
So the next tier there on the right is the Healers League tier. It's both covers, the ash can and the coloring book, plus any stretch goals we reach.
Nice.
And then the final tier, the featured tier, if you will, is all of that, plus the 3D printed Danello's blade.
Go down, Derek.
Where am I at? Oh, this one.
Oh, no, the next tier. Sorry, I forgot about the one-of-a-kind trading card. Yeah. So
okay.
The one-of-a-kind sketch card is by Dave Ryan. It is, he's got his name on the back and his autograph on the back, and there will be no other reprints of that sketch card.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. That's this one right here, right? Yeah.
It's up a ways. Yeah, right there. So that one, he's also sort of like featured it with glitter in her eyelids, her lips, and the power manifestation.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
So it's a very cool sketch card. Yep, there's just one of those.
Sketch cards
and
are
then
fun.
And then the top tier, sorry, I had skipped that. The top tier then includes both of the books, the ash can, the coloring book, and this.
Oh, that's cool that you have it.
So
it looks like it has a shine to it, right?
Yeah, it's got it's a red and black filament that the printer is using for this. As you can see, it's got Danello's blade on the bottom, and it is not one piece. The sword does come off.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
It takes him about 16 hours to print this.
I was just going to ask you, how difficult is it?
Yeah. So it's 16 hours. He's willing to do 10 of them for me. So that top tier, there are 10 available. And that's only available on Fund My Comic. It is not available on Kickstarter.
I would love to do that with our stuff. That's really cool, Dojo.
You do have weapons with a lot of your characters, so it might be neat if you could get someone to do. First, you have to get someone to do a print file. So they have to do a 3D rendering of whatever weapon it is you want. Then you need to find, and sometimes it's the same person who will do both for you, but then you also have to find somebody who has the printer that's the right size, capable of printing it.
Very cool.
Yeah, I really liked it, especially how shiny it was. That was really.
I found the 3D
Ooh,
rendering.
shiny.
A person did that for me from Fiverr, and then
Yeah.
the printer is very local to me.
Oh, okay.
Like 15 minutes away. So yeah,
nice.
Yeah, exactly. So there's no shipping. I just drive over there and get them.
Dang.
Man,
Okay.
that is cool. Well, very nice. I like this.
Yeah, I do. I like
it
that
seems
really
like
much.
you've thought this out a lot more.
Yes.
And I do like what you're adding to it, which is really cool.
So there's only 10 of the $100 then.
Right.
Reward. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. I like the idea of a coloring book. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, I do too.
I've seen a few coloring books in the indie circles, and I've seen mixed reviews on that. But one of the reasons I put it with this is because, just as an example, my wife is up in Traverse City and met up with one of her uncles there, and she was talking about what I've been doing, and this is one of the things I've been doing. And he's like, "Oh, that sounds perfect for my granddaughter Scarlett. Like, give me the info so I can back his book." So even people who aren't comic book fans might have someone in their life that is, or a young adult that would love to read these and perhaps color this. So that's really the audience I'm trying to reach for now, because, you know, a lot of us that are adult comic book collectors, we are in for the tits and gore, right? But this book here, I think will appeal to adults and kids alike.
Yeah, if you have a anywhere from probably a 10 to a 14 or 15-year-old, they could be intrigued by something like this.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yep.
And I think that's a good demographic to look at. You know, break out, get a new piece of the audience. You know, I mean, that's a new audience. We've never broken into children, like, right, Murph? None of our book hasn't reached that level. But I think it'd be cool if we had kids that were into what we were doing. I think it's a neat thing.
We're going for a PG-13.
Yeah. Even though we have a lot of blood.
I mean, PG-13s have a lot of blood.
Yeah, they do. So, yeah, I think this is great, man.
I really like that. That's so cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's unique, for sure.
Yeah.
Now, how do you say that again?
Dinello's Blade.
Dinello's. Okay.
Dinello is the guy you see her confronting on the Renzo Rodriguez cover. He's also on the cinematic poster cover. He's down in the middle of the bottom. He's right up front.
Okay. So let's so there he is with the blade. And then he's down in front here.
Yeah, he's right in the center. He's wielding
he's holding the blade. Too. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. That's cool. Good. All right. So, and then you have stretch goals?
I have 3 items selected, but I have not set the goals yet. I want to see, first, do we reach funding? And then if we do, how quickly we did, how much money have we raised? And then at that point, I'll set the first stretch goal. But the first one is the 6 a.m. magnet of Naya. Okay. And if you are familiar with the 6 a.m. pictures, I'm sure you are, he's got this huge collage of like hundreds of CG characters in the picture. And then Spider-Man looking over his shoulder like, oh my God. Yep. Well, Naya is in that collage.
Oh, okay.
So she's already there. And so that will be a stretch goal 1. Stretch goal 2 will be a metal trading card of, I can't decide if it's going to be one of the covers or just one of the pinups of one of the characters. We'll see how it goes when we get there. And then stretch goal 3 will be a set of 5 chibi stickers, all 5 of the main characters.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, I would say with our metal card, I think the more detail, the better. So I'd probably go with whatever picture you feel has more detail, because it brings out the metal a little bit more. Would you agree with that, Derek, or no?
Yeah, everybody really liked our metal card. I think we got some good feedback on that. So it was a neat thing.
I think the detail just makes it pop more. It gives it more of a surface.
Do we have time to shill for one of my friends?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I got to show you something. Okay. Jake Adams, one of my co-hosts on Incendiary, He's the creator of Cobalt, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so he sent me this, and I've got to show it off on stream. I just do. This
Is it
is
shiny?
the cover.
Oh,
This is the
shiny.
cover to Cobalt 3.
That's
This is
cool.
an Adam Miller poster, and as you can see,
nice.
it's metal.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm hoping he makes this available on the campaign.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love
Do you know
it.
how much it costs to make something like that in metal?
I don't know how much it costs, but I went to a convention here in the Detroit area where Phoenix Animation was on site. Yep. So we hung out together all day. I helped him sell a bunch of these.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Of a lot of it. Close your ears, Mo. Most of it was a very big anime convention here in Detroit.
We're gonna lose Mo. Mo, it's okay. It's okay, Mo. It's okay.
I was way out of my element. I didn't know any of the characters. Honestly, I really didn't. He had like tons of these things with all these anime characters, and I had no idea who they were. But he was selling these for $40 a piece.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. Trust me, he was making serious bank. In fact, he quit his job and does this full time now.
Wow.
Yeah. I've noticed he's been doing that a lot. When I see him, he's always at a convention. So it's pretty amazing.
He's going from convention to convention around the nation, and he's making enough that he doesn't have to work anymore. Well, this is work, but he loves it.
Yeah. I wonder how he does it, man. It's amazing. It's the only thing I've ever seen. You know, I've never seen anybody else do it. And so it's a unique product that he has.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool that he can do this. It's called metal sublimation.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow. Well, I love that we had the card with it. I want to do more. I wanted to get posters like of our banner behind us and things like that. And we just haven't got there yet, but
there you go.
It'll be money, you know, of the banner of, you know, of like our cover or of certain images. I think it'd be awesome. So
get flags.
Yeah. Mo says $40. That's half the price of his nipple etchings.
That's going way back to some lore right there.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, that's art Bancroft will never invest in. And then
because it's nipple.
Good stuff. Well, hey man, I think this is cool. And it seems like, how are you doing with Fund My Comic? Is that
so
working
far? I
for
believe
you?
I have 4 backers.
Okay.
We launched on Friday. On Friday the 13th. And unfortunately, even though I don't have frigatruscadecaphobia, there were 5 other streams going on at the same time.
Oh, dang.
Oh, my gosh.
And they were big names too. So it was like, oh man, that was bad luck right there.
Yeah. But I mean, the more you get your name out there, we get a lot of people watching replays with us. And so they'll go in and watch. And so hopefully people will pick it up. And like I said, you know, even if you don't get a backer during the show, it's about spreading the word. The more people have time and timing, they may not be able to do it at the time you launch, but at the time of our show or the
especially people get paid on Fridays,
right?
And not every Friday, like every other Friday, so you can get that too. And
so I also too, I've been on 5 or 6 shows already. I've got a total of 18 shows this week. So you know, trying to get the word out there and might get, you know, different eyes on it. Some people might hear the same story over and over, but then again, you know, one thing about coming on your show, for example, is you had a different theme and we had a great discussion before we got to this. So hopefully that's that kind of thing will keep people involved and interested.
Yeah, because you know, for us, I think that's the format we're going to go with from now on. When we bring guests on, we're not just going to show the book. We're going to have some fun, talk, and enjoy ourselves. And by the way, here's a book we want you to look at, and let's move on. You know what I mean? If you want to back it, you can back it. So what kind of dog you have there?
She is a Newfoundland Poodle mix.
Oh,
wow. I saw the poodle.
She's a big girl.
I have a standard poodle, so mine might even be bigger than yours. I don't know.
Yeah, might be. But Newfoundlands can get to be like 200 pounds. Here's the thing though, guys. Dad was a toy poodle.
Oh, wow.
What?
Mom was the
That's
Newfoundland.
Crazy.
So
okay.
Dad likes the big girls.
Yeah.
Dad had to get on a ladder.
Right. So she is being a little vocal right now because I think she needs to go out.
Oh,
Okay.
And
Well, thank you very much for coming on. We had so much fun having you on here. Always.
I
You're
appreciate
always
it, guys.
welcome.
It's always great to talk
is
to
it really
you guys.
called a poofy, or is Mo just being
No.
funny? I can never tell.
It's a Newfie Poo.
It's,
Newfie Poo. Wow.
Newfie Poo,
oh,
yep.
who makes these
Jeez.
names?
I know. So silly.
Well, they put poo
Like
in
a Shih
everything.
Tzu?
If it's
Who
got
thought
poodle,
that
they
was a
put
good
poo.
idea?
Well, Shih Tzu is a Chinese word, so
Yeah. Right.
Those
I had-
Chinese,
came
they
up
know
with
what they're
that?
doing. They
Who
know what
came up
they're
with that?
doing.
I had a full-blooded Shih Tzu named Shogun of China.
Oh,
That's
nice.
awesome. I like that.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. We had so much fun with the Unsolved Mysteries. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Very intriguing show. And, make sure you guys go on Fund My Comic or they
Yes.
can go where else to find your book. Dojo?
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
It's also on Kickstarter. Trying to reach
Kickstarter.
the normie audience and Janice's fans too.
There you go. So go both places if you need to, and back that book. Help make it happen. Next week we have, Jose Garcia. I almost lost his name. We have Jose Garcia on the show, and we're going to have him showcase his new project. So, with that said, I think
Excellent.
we're going to call it a night. So,
Chat and hail you guys. Thanks so much.
yep.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everybody, have a
Like,
great week.
subscribe, share,
Yep.
spread out the good news.
There
And
you
we
go.
are here on Tuesdays, same bat time, same bat channel. Derek, I'm just talking because when you hit the button, it never goes right off.
All right,
And
I'm
then there's-
cutting you off right now.
Hit the
Murph and
button.
Dirk and Dirk and Murph and Murph and Dirk and Dirk.